huge typo. Sorry about that. It feels like Saturday. It feels like I've already done my week, so I apologize for that. Anyway, we're going to come in today with equities really, really down, and the selling in the equities is round the globe minus China, and it's blamed on Bloomberg. Bloomberg's communications net went down, and it's not necessarily blamed on the quotation in the exchanges rest. So they're blaming it on the lack of the chat room between the two. So if equities continue down today, imagine financials are going to hold their gains and trade higher. And if equities find buyers this morning and come back up, then the financials are probably going to sell in this 130 area. We have resistance at 30.04. So the first sell is 31.03. Second sell is 7.11. This first sell against 130, I mean, it's just, that's where resistance is. 130 even to 130.04. It's no more, no less. CPI, which usually does not impact the market, plus 0.2. Core, plus 0.1. Consumer confidence, 95. LAI, plus 0.3. No one pays any attention to LAI because of the interest rate component and utilities. So I think today's news focus is going to be consumer confidence. I don't think we'll pay a lot of attention to CPI, but CPI and PPI have moved the markets when they've been well off the estimates. So I think the market's focus today is going to be the direction of the E-mini and whether the selling continues or not. On the buy side, 21, 25. Going to play against this breakout right in here, these single prints, and then 17 to 13. The ZB. One of the things that we see is everybody knows that the buying in the stock market is manipulated. And we see that. It doesn't sell. It just ever so slowly higher, very, very little in the way of setbacks. And then you have these, the market just gets whacked. The stock market is off 20 to 30, and you're really in a blink of an eye. And quite often it starts in the overnight session. So the selling opportunities in the E-mini, I mean, it's like you have to be there, and you catch 20 to 30 points. You know, tighten your stops if you're a position trader. So it's very, very difficult trading. Okay, resistance. You can see this K period high here at 05. You can see that A period high at 03. You can see this A period high at 30. So, and the overnight session highs at 28. So the first sell, and it's aggressive as hell, is 27 to 31. We're just leaning against resistance. Second sell, we're going to make 7 to 11. On the buy side, the breakout came at 13. Last rotate down was 19. So we'll play a 13 to 17 buy 1. And then a 5 to 9 buy 2. But we talk about it often, and I mention it often, that old adage, if you want to sleep at night, go home long treasuries and short the stock market. That's not a trading or investment strategy. It's just what that tells you is that the explosive moves in the indexes is to the downside and to the upside in treasuries or financials. Yeah, I just, as long, the last to know, OTC stocks, penny stocks are even better, Jeff. Okay, gold, we like the 95, 97 area. Basically 90 to 95 is where we see support, and we have resistance starting at 1208. 8 to 10, sell 1. That's just where resistance is. 14 to 16, sell 2. On the buy side, 95, 97. Then 90 to 92. I don't see anybody really dumping gold. I mean, it does trade up and down. Don't get me wrong on that, but I just don't see anybody abandoning those positions given what's going on in the world. The chaos, the potential for disaster just goes up daily, and that's being led by the United States policies, domestically and around the globe. And I mean, nobody can just, it's just hard to not feel uneasy about what's going on around you these days. You know, it is very, very, having owned a small business for longer than I thought I ever would, it's very, very difficult to build something. It's easy to break something and tear it down. And look at the destruction. You know, you might have 50, a couple hundred years worth of buildings and infrastructure, et cetera, built up. And you can destroy it in a day in war. And the same is true, you know, through economic policies. They take longer than bombs do, but the outcome is the same. When you have leadership that's intent on moving in a particular direction that happens to be destructive, it's pretty hard to stop them. And you can break stuff easily, like the economy. Take a look at those people that have quit looking for jobs. Ask them how fast it took to change their lifestyles. So 107.50, 108.50 is kind of where the market is right now. So 40 to 50 is going to be sell 1. That 75 area plus or minus will be sell 2. 108 is an obvious round number. That's buy 1. I'm more comfortable with the 75 area. And the euro tends to find support and resistance in the 75 areas these days. Okay, for those of you that have not rolled the crude, I haven't rolled the crude either. So what we're going to do, for those of you that don't know how to do it, we go right up to trading. We go to profiles. We go down to crude. We select the contract. June. Hit select. And that's how it's done. And just to make sure that everything is right on this, we're going to do a forced tick rebuild. And a lot of what went on Wednesday and Thursday was probably associated with expiration. So we are higher. We're up here. Today we'll see if the short squeeze develops in the May contract from the players. So resistance is at 58, 58 and a quarter. It's just where it is. I mean, there is no magic in this. And then we'll make it 50 to 7. The squeeze gets going, it'll probably take us to 59. More articles today on the demise of tight oil, tight structure crude oil production. The articles are crude oil production in the United States has peaked. So today's play is probably more short squeeze, and selling rejection in that 58, 58, 50 probably is the easiest structural trade to see. Okay, the E-mini, the selling, China's market was up, and China's market is up because the Chinese government is investing in, they've said they're going to invest $1 trillion, and that was said earlier this year, in infrastructure. And right now everybody expects the People's Bank of China to ease further. One other reason given for the selling was that the Chinese stock exchange now allows short selling of stock, which is a first. So there are a couple of reasons that were cited. The Chinese markets were doing what they were doing before Bloomberg hit, but they were up about, I want to say, another 2% overnight. So the key is, can the stock market break? And I don't know. I mean, this selling that started in London accelerated in S. We got right down into our 80 to 82 area. So 82, maybe a little bit lower. Buy one. Buy two. The spill was from 96. We're at 89, so 94, 96, sell one. Obviously, you got to get through 90 to get there, so we'll put a question mark at 90. And then 99 to 2100, which is where we expired yesterday. So the options went off at 2100 last night, not 2110. The big point before yesterday was 2040 for puts, 2110 for calls, and the market expired at 2100, saving the market makers a lot of loot. And the short squeeze took us over to 2100 and got us up to 2105. Okay, it'll take about 15, 20 minutes to get everything up and done. I'm going to get busy on that. I will see you as soon as possible. We do have news at 8:30 Eastern, CPI. Expected up 0.2, core up 0.1, then consumer sentiment at 10, and LEI. Later.